In this video, you'll find out everything we currently know about The Ones Who Live Season 1. By the way, The Ones Who Live is a Rick and Michonne spin-off. Yeah, we're finally gonna find out what the hell happened to Rick. After Jadis told the CRM that she had a B, whatever that means, Rick was taken. Somewhere. For those who haven't seen spin-offs, CRM is a huge organization with about 250,000 people, so 5 times bigger than the Commonwealth. I'm pretty sure most of you already know this, hell maybe you even stopped watching the show at this point. After Rick is kidnapped, a couple years go by and Daryl is pissed because there's no Rick's body anywhere. After the Whisper arc, Michonne also finds something that Rick apparently drew in his boots, so Michonne decides that she's gonna look for Rick, and she's already looking for him at the end of 11th season. Rick also tries to escape at some point, but he's found and brought back, but not before he can leave some evidence that he is alive, which Michonne later finds. Michonne finds a large group of people and travels with them for a while. Now what do we actually know about the series? Well, we know that Rick still has his sheriff boots after 10 years. But seriously, aside from all the little teasers, here's what we know. The budget for the series is $82 freaking million. Just to put that in perspective, the budget for the best series out there, at least the most visually stunning ones like Mandalorian, is $100 million. Most Marvel movies, aside from Avengers, are also around $100 million. Don't forget that The Ones Who Live only has 6 episodes, so the show will look pretty damn good. This makes a budget for a single episode $13.7 million, which is about 4.5 times higher than most episodes of the main series. So yeah, the series is gonna look fantastic. We also know quite a bit about the very first episode. We know that it will be titled Years and will be an hour and a half long. Now this information was apparently found on Rotten Tomatoes, but now it seems like they have removed it or something, but I think that's a pretty reliable source. An hour and a half is a long time for a single episode. Maybe the first episode will be that long and then they'll get shorter, or maybe they'll all be that long. But if they're all that long, then we are looking at 12 episodes rather than 6, considering the average episode in the main series was between 40 and 50 minutes long. Of course, we also have a bunch of pictures from the set, but people got excited about that a month ago and we have a freaking trailer now, so we'll just leave out the least interesting ones. There's one picture that's really cool, and that's the picture of these newspapers. The majority of CRC candidates are calling for oversight of the CRM. The text says that the CRM military has been independent so far, but the CRM is a democratic organization and some people believe that the military shouldn't do what it wants. It seems like the military of the Civic Republic was completely independent because it had to protect the Civic Republic, whatever the cost. Now people argue that the military should be controlled by the government and that the government should know what the military is basically doing. And this is where the problems begin. The CRM, also known as the Civic Republic military, does really nasty things. They have literally killed over 100,000 people and are experimenting on them. When people find out, it's not gonna end well, and it seems like this is gonna be CRM's main storyline in the series. The military wants to keep its power. We can also see a title called Signals from Europe. Wow, that's huge. As most of you probably know, Daryl is currently in France, and this is a clear reference to Daryl Dixon's spin-off, as the ships are traveling from New York to France, and it seems that Civic Republic knows that. All of this tells us a lot. Of course, there are a bunch of cool images out there, but screw it, we have an actual trailer and a couple of teasers. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, consider completely obliterating that subscribe button. First, we have this teaser of Rick's shoes. There are a lot of teasers like this, but come on, seriously, his shoes. So let's get to actual footage we have. First of all, we have some really cool smoke shots. In some shots we can see that CRM has this red light, so I'm assuming Rick and Michonne have already escaped at this point and they are looking for them or something. We also have this footage of Andrew Lincoln, aka Rick Grimes, and Danae Gurira, aka Michonne, talking about the series. Andrew says that they want to bring some answers, which is great considering Rick has been gone for more than 10 freaking years. We see Rick fighting walkers and all the scenes look great. We see some shots of General Bale. He seems to be the antagonist of the series. We also see some cool shots of the CRM soldiers. Those of you who saw the last episode of The Walking Dead know that Rick has a CRM jacket and that weird stick weapon, and those of you that have seen World Beyond know exactly what's going on. In the spin-off World Beyond, we saw that the people who are captured and brought to CRM either become test subjects or do some kind of disgusting work. We have seen these weapons being used to kill walkers. Basically, CRM brings these massive herds into some places and blows them up. The ones that are still standing are then taken out by these workers. This basically means that Rick is not treated extremely well, at least not yet. Then in the main trailer we see some really exciting things. First, we see that Michonne is now traveling with the group she met at the end of season 11. A woman says, "You don't want to go north, not now." We don't know why she said that, but maybe it has to do something with a badass giant herd in the next shot. It seems like Michonne wants to get through it and is using a freaking grenade launcher or something like that. Rick also says, "My wife is my choice, my daughter is my choice," and stuff like that. A woman who also appears to be a worker says, "You showed me I can't escape," meaning Rick obviously tried to escape but failed, as was made clear in the Walking Dead finale. We see Rick sitting on a bench looking over a river. This probably takes place near New York. CRM was made up of 3 communities, one in Portland, one in Omaha, and one somewhere near New York. Omaha was destroyed, so this could be in Portland or New York. It's probably not Portland because TRM tried to destroy it and we don't know what happened to it yet. So it has to be New York. It could also happen pretty soon after Rick destroys the bridge, so maybe all 3 communities are still there at this point. Who knows? We got some really cool shots of the military and also a quote that this is the most powerful military on the planet, which is probably true. In this shot of soldiers, it looks like Rick is in the second line, although I couldn't find a 4K version of the trailer, so it's hard to tell, but it's probably him because the person on his left looks like the chick from the other shot. Now this is huge. People said Rick would never break or work for the CRM, but this kinda proves that he's a soldier and a pretty respected one, I'd say. And he's probably had to do some pretty bad things. Bale also asks Rick if he wants to kill or die, and Rick replies, "You tell me, sir," whatever that means. We then see some shots of the famous CRM helicopters that are constantly seen in the series. We see the shot of 5 helicopters bombing a city, and believe it or not, that's the same shot as in season 1 of The Walking Dead when Atlanta was bombed. That's wow. That must mean CRM is the one who destroyed Atlanta. That is huge. All these years we thought that the military did it, but no, CRM did it. That means that CRM was created a few days after the outbreak at most. That probably means that most likely the CRM existed before the apocalypse even started. That's very interesting. I really want to know what all of this means. After that, we also have some really good looking shots of the military and characters and stuff. We see a shot of CRM soldier, and if you mess with the exposure a bit, it looks like Rick is under there, but it's hard to tell. We also see Michonne and some other people running away from this yellow gas. Most fans believe it's a gas that came from CRM experiments. You see, CRM is doing these crazy experiments where they are trying to stop people from turning into walkers after they die. That's not a bad theory, but it looks like regular chlorine gas to me. CRM wiped out the entire campus colony where nearly 10,000 people lived by using chlorine gas, so I think this is almost certainly chlorine gas. CRM used chlorine gas and added something that we don't know exactly what it is, trying to prevent the so-called reanimation or turning into a walker. So it must be chlorine, which may have something added to it. The last thing we got is Michonne looking up and smiling. There seems to be a wind blowing, so there must be a helicopter up there. She's probably glad CRM found her because they're gonna take her somewhere where Rick probably is. But yeah, all of this is just speculation, of course. We'll have to wait another month or so for more, but damn, everything looks very promising so far. So yeah, this is more or less everything we know so far.